Lord have mercy. This man, Brian Windhorst, is drunk off the LeBron James ball sack juice, people. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Dialerix TV back with another video. And in today's video, we'll be discussing an article pertaining to Brian Windhorst, or should I say, the more unhealthy version of Jonah Hill. Brian Windhorst clone, okay? And speaking of Jonah Hill, this gotta be a joke. This gotta be a joke, bruh. But anyway, ESPN Brian Windhorst, LeBron James media flunky, flat out just goes out and says some of the most disrespectful, distasteful comments. I mean, it's not unexpected. You know, I expect this from the LeBron James camp, okay? Because I know that Brian Windhorst works for the LeBron James camp, okay? But this fat man has the nerve to say that LeBron James wants for the Lakers to exhaust all of their assets and leave them with nothing. Basically, LeBron James wants the Lakers to give up their heart and their soul and a bag of Nightcrawler gummy worms, okay? But this article is per Sportskeeda, and the headline reads, "The Lakers don't have banner number 17 without LeBron and Clutch Sports. Brian Windhorst believes LeBron James wants the Lakers to exhaust themselves." So he goes on to say, he says, on ESPN's Get Up on Tuesday, NBA analyst Brian Windhorst said James wants his organization to exhaust itself and make possible moves to improve the roster. Brian Windhorst says, quote, "What LeBron wants is for the organization to exhaust itself," Windhorst said. "He doesn't want anything left on the table. He wants every draft pick possible to be used. He wants every opportunity explored. He wants the Lakers to do what he does, which is to exhaust itself." Brian Windhorst went into deeper detail about what James wants to happen. James and the Clutch agency have an impact on the players brought to the Lakers recently. There were reports that the team was hesitant to make a trade to move Russell Westbrook, a trade that would have included future draft picks. Windhorst said James simply wants the Lakers to be more all in while pursuing a title. He says those players that Clutch helped bring to LA, those are LeBron James. That's Anthony Davis. That's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. That's Taylor Horton Tucker, Windhorst said. These are the players that got the Lakers the 2020 title. He then goes on to say that's not enough, people. This man was just going off. He was raging, ranting, crazy, okay? He says the Lakers don't have banner number 17 without LeBron. Okay, and Clutch Sports, Clutch Sports. And if they want banner number 18, which owner Jeannie Buss has said is the most important thing to her to get past the Boston Celtics, her father Jerry Buss' long-term goal, I think they're going to have to seriously consider going all in. So if you guys would like to read the full article, the link is in the description box, okay? Now, one thing I would like to point out is if Rich Paul is so bothered by the reports that stating that Clutch Sports were frustrated, you know, he addressed the reports that Clutch Sports was so frustrated and he's a got D lie, something like that he alluded to. I'm paraphrasing, but he was upset at the fact that the Lakers decided not to trade Russell Westbrook and include that draft pick. Okay, then one, why address it? Because honestly, it seems as though you are being dishonest because you go out and say, "We never said that," okay? But then your client or your friend LeBron James praises other NBA GMs, which is like a slap in the face and contradicts what you're saying. And as my father always say, if you feed it, it'll grow. If you know that you never said it, then why speak on it? Brian Big Horse, Kendra Perkins, Shannon Sharp, Christina Broussard, or any of the other sports media members. Let it be known that they don't speak for you or just say nothing at all. And lastly, what leads LeBron James to believe that the Lakers should just exhaust all of their assets just to appease a near 38 going on 40 years old LeBron James, who has been getting injured these past few seasons? See, this man really think he's the king. and then threatens you to leave. I need some insurance. You threatening the franchise that you going to leave. Then a fan has the nerve to tell me on Instagram that LeBron James has a no trade clause. And anyone in the comment section, please inform me on the details if LeBron James really does have a no trade clause in his deal. But even still, it really doesn't matter. Because if LeBron James is already complaining and whining now about losing and is failing horribly at carrying this Lakers team that he asked for Russell Westbrook. He was offered Buddy Hield, Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry. Who he chose? Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook. You supposed to make the players around you better. Why you didn't turn Brandon Ingram to the next Scottie Pippen, right? You know, he's already complaining and whining about losing and is failing horribly at carrying this Lakers team that he asked for. Then what leads y'all to believe that he can make it another year and the Lakers have nothing to offer that a team would want? LeBron James has proven time and time that he will quit. So he'll be more willing to lift that no trade clause just so he doesn't get embarrassed by Laker Nation or get blamed. But as I've mentioned, Jeannie Buss is in the driver's seat. Why? Because she has Anthony Davis. Thank you, LeBron. So either AD could stay or we can flip him for some assets. And you talking about Clutch Sports and LeBron James brought you AD, KCP, and THT for a title? What? But I'll counter with this. So who brought the Lakers? These other players didn't play a role? Who brought the Lakers Alex Caruso? Who brought the Lakers Danny Green, a former two-time NBA champion before LeBron James, who was a part of that Spurs team that defeated LeBron James, who won a championship with the Toronto Raptors, Dwight Howard, who revamped his entire game and was widely considered one of the best big men in the league, who made a significant contribution to the 2020 Lakers championship team, Kyle Kuzma. What about JaVale McGee, two-time champion with the Golden State Warriors? What about Markieff Morris? Was he not talented? What about Rajon Rondo, one of the greatest playmakers the game has ever seen? So I guess none of these players made contributions, huh? So the Lakers didn't go out and get Montrezl Harrell, former Sixth Man of the Year, Ben McLemore. They had Dennis Schroeder. But see, this is why nobody likes playing with the most overrated player in NBA history. Because he used the media to bully and paint narratives. And that's why nobody wants to play with LeBron. And ESPN got the nerve to have this man number 2 over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Scottie Pippen, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant. Man, send this bum back to Cleveland immediately.